listen so that I can quickly take you through this product. When he told me they want to build this place, I think it was in December last year. Before it was like, we need do site and services. I was in the office that day and he has these brain waves. Visionary people. And he said, Mr. we'll build houses that was 200 units. I'll do it in 6 months. I just told him, be rest assured that Imperial Homes will partner with you. And we believe in developers that are genuine. A round of applause for them. And today, so between December, January and February, they did the layout, did the design, got the necessary approvals, and then we worked together. They did application to us that look, they need social amount of money. And he's so sure, I will pay this money in 6 months, in 9 months. And when I was with him last week, he told me someone has bought 22 units already. And I said, look, he's going to tell you about this product. Most of your sales are through installment payments. Can you raise up your hand? Installment payments for me. Yeah, I know about mortgage, and I saw the product to a customer using mortgage. Can you raise up your hand? There's nobody. So what I told him is that, of course, Nigeria, we have very challenging situations. And that is why we do installment payments. Most of the places we want to copy, or where we want to be, when people say about the Western nations or the Asian nations, they have mortgage. And what it does is it allows you to sell more. A lot of your customers want to buy, but when they see the breakdown of the installment payment over 12 months, for example, on Havana, that is 4.8 or 4.9 million on a monthly basis over 12 months. Maybe you will likely lose 80% of your clients. And you will console yourself and say, no, that sale is not meant to be mine. That is what we do in this area. It's not meant to be mine. What will be mine will be mine. But really, there's an opportunity for you to use models. And we created this product. We sat down with Xylos and we launched it in February. We serve and some other partners in the real estate sector to pay this product. The next slide is something. So we realized, the next slide, we did a survey sometimes towards the end of last year. Nigerians who don't like using data or information. We did a survey and we tried to ask people 8 basic questions, 440 people. We chose them from different companies. And we say, fill this survey and tell us about yourself. We realized 80% of them currently rent houses. 80%. And it's not the same to rent. And we looked at the annual rent. 66% and under 750,000. And the remaining hand over that. Then the housing need. We realized a lot of people. When you had the first three there, 21 plus 32 plus 37, up to 8% of people just want 1, 2, or 3 bedroom houses. I was telling him, I live in a 4 bedroom house for the last 8 years. For the first 7 years, I only live in 2 bedroom. One for myself and one for my children. I now move to the third one because I now have a girl that is above 10 years. So we ask people, what do you functionally need? Look, I'm not talking about people in Lekki. They are just like 5% or 1% of our need here. So we're talking of majority of people. This is what they need. And where do they currently live? 81% currently live on the mainland. So let's go to the next slide. Family size, most of them between 3 and 4. So people don't need more than 2 or 3 bedroom functional. Bungalow. Today I set out 9 a.m. so that I will get here. He knows I always keep to time. And I got here 10. And we're calling from the mainland. So I had to wait in my car. Because I was thinking it's going to take me 2.5 hours on a Saturday. Because of the road repairs. I realized that the whole road now, more or less, so I was there in my car, he met me. So there's access, there's infrastructure, so people can easily get here from anywhere. Salary band is there. I'll share this with you, so you can also share with your customer. I'll now ask, do you want to stay where you currently are? 75% of people we surveyed are actually aspirational. I want to live where I'm currently renting. I want to buy a house. Well, so how do we make it easy for them? So from these results, we saw that there are three major points. One is, there's nothing like affordable housing. You know, anytime we're having discussion and someone is telling me affordable housing, I will stand up and move. I call it appropriate housing. That is pricing and location. You don't need to start from 100, 200, 300 million. The first project in P, I know 1 bedroom was going for 30 something, not now again, 2 bedroom for something, now we have 50 something. So you don't need to start from the front. So appropriate housing is the good location for you. And good location is where infrastructure is, or infrastructure we get to. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, nobody comes to this side. I worked with ARM in 2007, 8, 9 on Lekki Concession Road. I was recruited to be on that set. We call it infrastructure finance. When we come to this side, we travel. It's a whole day. Then we're doing Beachwood and Farah Park, and then we will now stay in a hotel. We go back to ARM in the Koyidi next. But now you can do this trip. So appropriate housing is the first one. And we have funded everyone. People can do 15 to 30 million. There are products that Xylos will do later on that might be as cheap as this. People can do 20 to 60 million, depending on their affordability. And people can do 45 to 100 million. So there are different products for different locations. If Xylos is doing this at Obongo or Abraham Adesoya, it will easily go for 100 million or 80 million. But just 15 minutes further down, you can get it for 58 million. So that's what we call appropriate housing, appropriate price and located housing. So that is the first problem we saw from evaluating that survey. The second problem we saw from it, so we also talk about location. You can see the location. We have the whole of Lekki corridor, opportunities. Ajah, before people can afford Ajah, you can't afford Ajah. Just 2-3 minutes down the road, you get to Abraham Adesoya. Another 2-3 minutes, you are to Bongo. 5 minutes, you are to LBS. So there's opportunity across this corridor, you know. Then we have the mainland, Oba, Agege, Iju. Before, we used to see houses, flats at Agege, Iju, Shaga for 20 million. Now, 2-bedroom flats, you will not get it for 60 million. Like that, 2-bedroom apartments are going for high. So these are opportunities for people. And then there's infrastructure. People say there's a train across that corridor, roads have been built. People do not mind living there. Myself, I live in Yama. And my office is in Ikoyi. I get to my office less than 30 minutes every day. Leave the house 7:30, get there. So, infrastructure is there by the state government to support people's aspiration. So everybody don't have to be clustered somewhere. The next slide, equity contribution. This is the second problem. So the first one is the appropriately priced housing. So that's the first one. Second one is equity contribution. It's always a problem when you say make a deposit of 10%. I know there are a lot of rich people and billionaires here, but a lot of your customers might also be able to afford that. So what we did is that we allowed them to contribute this money over a period. You know, normally sellers will say, bring that money now for you to lock down. We are saying, no, if you latch on to this product, you don't need to bring that money now. We allow you to contribute it over 36 months. And we will buy units from you. You will not lose your units. Yeah. We have had discussions on the number of units you are going to lock down from Xylos, from the World Pool. So your customers can now contribute this equity deposits over a period. And the assurance is there is what? There is a housing unit in view. There are a lot of developers who knows that we are also doing this with that we buy. What is the downside for us if your customer eventually do not qualify for the mortgage or buy the house? I have houses that I have bought at off-plan prices. I can never lose. We have more than 10,000 customers that are premium customers on our database. So what will it take me to sell 50 units to them? That's just less than 5% of our customer base that are very hard. So we'll go to the next thing that we notice, Samson. Mortgage finance. So the first one is appropriately priced housing. Second one is equity contribution. So we now make the remaining 90% is a lot of options. The federal government, the next one, they have provided a lot of options. Before, we used to be stuck with what you see as imperial homes. Very high, 27%. And I hope you know the reason. The inflation has been high. CBN is trying to manage inflation, and then they'll be increasing what? MPR. So everybody has to be lending at a particular rate. If you lend at less than that rate, you are going to be making a loss in the recent areas. So that rate is 27. In January, that rate was 29. So in February, CBN refused to increase the APR because inflation went down. The plan of the government or the projection is it will continue to go down and this rate will go down. But we have this mortgage here. Then we have a second option called the MRIF, Ministry of Finance Real Estate Investment Fund. The federal government has put money there and told people to come and lend at 12%. And then that is the processing time, within 8 weeks. So for your customer that wants to buy this property and is able to bring 8 million equity contribution that he or she can contribute over time, based on the plan they have chosen, we can do this mortgage of 15 million. That is the maximum. Then we go to FHF. It's another thing federal government is doing with what the AFDB, that is African Development. They call it the family-owned funds. It's more expensive, 16%, but it's faster than the MRIF. Already existing. The MRIF is a new one. That is it. Within 4 weeks. Then we have, of course, the Federal Mortgage Bank, the NHF, National Housing Fund. It's the cheapest. But it takes a long time to process because you have to carry everything to Abuja. But for these first 3, on your digital platform, it can be processed. So your customer have options. For the first time, we are seeing a pivot and an interest of the government in providing options. So let's go to the next slide. So your customer has various ways they can choose. So for example, if your customer is buying Havana, the price is what? 58 million. Today price, not next week price. Mr. Tosin can wake up and if people have bought 50 units, he will decide to change it. That is contribution, then the mortgage is there, and then the tenor is there. Over 10 years, instead of your customer sweating or being disqualified because they cannot contribute 4.8 million installments over 12 months, the customer can just do equity contribution over 12 to 36 months, and then the remaining. And he's sure we have locked down the property. We will not come in 1 year's time and Mr. Tosin will say, no, your allocation, we have lost it. Because you defaulted here. He's dealing with the mortgage bank. Then the next one. So what we now did was, next slide, we now wrapped out these 3 solutions. Appropriate housing, equity contribution made easy, and the third one is what? Mortgage financing. And we now develop this product that we call PhoneFest. The next slide. We now put everything on the app. We have an app, we have a web. So, we have barcodes, we are partnering with them to obtain some units here. So some of your customers, once they onboard on it and they are choosing Havana, then they can start that journey. We have people at this side here, of this side of the hive, you will see it with the barcode. Just scan it. We have a registration point, put your name there, and they will send the brochure and the enrollment come for you. Now your customer can start the journey. It's an app. They will choose the plan. I want to contribute 150,000 every month, or I want to contribute 300,000 the next slide every month. So we have the contacts here. You can scan this and you see, experience the product. We have made it easy. And we know that with this enablement, your fishing scope is now wider. You are not only talking to people that can afford 58 million divided by 12 or divided by 24. You are talking to people that can afford to contribute the 10% over 12 months or more, and then pay the mortgage over 10 years. So the opportunities are what? I wish you all the best as you go fishing. Thank you very much.